Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we are going to just watch Bitcoin for a little bit and see if in fact it is able to break through 45K. So let me just post this in a couple different places and then we will jump in. What a crazy day. What a crazy day. Waking up to, to the news that Elon and Tesla purchased 1.5 billion in Bitcoin last month, I guess. And now my interpretation is that retail is reacting to this news. Yeah, I'm sure it touched 45K on some exchanges. But again, we wanted to definitively break through it to say that. These are crazy times, right? Crazy times for sure. Let us. How are you guys doing? Do I think this is just an Elon pump? I think it's retail reacting to Tesla, but I don't feel like you can blame them. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where things take us. I mean, right now Bitcoin has re-entered price discovery mode, and so we do not know how high it will ultimately take us before cooling down for a bit. Right now we're at 44,814. Someone says no Link pump. Well, Link doesn't tend to pump when Bitcoin pumps, so that's why you have both, right? You have one, you have both. So again, Link will tend to pump when Bitcoin's not. So I would say be patient with Link. Yeah, the Ether Bitcoin valuation has taken a hit here, which it's certainly anticipated when you get Bitcoin volatility. The consolation prize for Ethereum right now is that at least the Bitcoin volatility is up and not down. Because if it were down, then Ether USD would be bleeding. But because Bitcoin's up, Ether's being dragged along, right? Ether's being dragged along with Bitcoin, but it's not gaining on the Bitcoin valuation, and we wouldn't expect it to until Bitcoin calms down. So where do you guys think we're headed? Where do you think Bitcoin's gonna go? We can if you pull up the regression bit, of course this isn't updated. This just says 38, but maybe we can pop back over here. Let's put on the daily time frame. These are the regression bands. Okay. Now again, we do not have we should not treat the upper band as something that you can take to the bank. It's only fit to 3 data points, but in case you're curious where it spans from, right now it spans from 57,163 up to 84,251. So that's essentially where it is on the upper regression band. That's currently where it is anyways. The 20-week SMA, as if we're ever going to get there or anytime soon, if we look at that, it currently ranges, the bull market support band ranges from 23,646 up to 26,214. If the logarithmic regression bands are based off retail bull runs, so institutional money was involved in prior bull runs, would I expect it to exceed it? So it can exceed it, right? The lower bands I think are more instrumental for accumulating. The upper bands are less useful. Again, only fit to 3 data points. So it depends, right? I mean, no one's going to be surprised if it if it gets rejected here and doesn't make it, or if it goes above it. I don't think that you should be surprised in that scenario. Okay, the lower regression band is good for accumulating. Okay, this one's good for accumulating. It's fit to thousands of non-bubble data points. This is only fit to 3 data points each peak. So I would say have some flexibility with it, and we'll see where it takes us. Right now, in order for us to get to the lower part of the regression band, it's only another 30%. To get to the top part, it would be about another 95% or so. So there's still a little ways to go there for Bitcoin. So I asked where people think it's going to go. We got a couple people saying around 51, 52, 54K. So that would be, 54 would be right here. So I'm going to be on live stream for maybe another 40 minutes maybe, and we'll see if Bitcoin, if we can usher in a $45,000 Bitcoin again. I'm sure it hit it somewhere, but and we'll also, I guess we should pull up some of the other charts too. So here we have Ether USD, which is still doing very well. Some people can quickly get discouraged when it falls behind. So here Ether USD is. Here's the regression rainbow for Ether USD. I mean, the one nice thing for Ethereum in this situation, of course, is that, as we've seen before, sorry, my 1-year-old woke up, or not my 1-year-old, my 3-month-old woke up in the middle of the night last night. One of the nice things for Ethereum in this situation is that it's gonna, as long as Bitcoin continues to do this, then Ethereum likely gets dragged up in USD, and then whenever Bitcoin volatility comes down, it's the same rodeo that we've seen before. Most likely, it's that then Ethereum can continue higher and play catch up. So it's a waiting game, right? You have to have patience. But as we said, if Bitcoin goes above 42K, we're back in price discovery mode, and until we've kind of put in a local top for a while, there's likely not going to be anything huge. And with that said, there are a lot of altcoins that have moved against Bitcoin. Not saying there can't be, but if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, we'll see if it's breaking out here. Okay, we've basically just been trending down for a while, and we're essentially looking to see, is this going to be a momentum shift, right? It's too early to say yet. I think it's too early to say yet, but given that Bitcoin's in price discovery mode, there's at least a higher probability that this breaks out than, say, it break out over here or over here, okay? Because we are above the prior all-time high, and if retail continues to FOMO in, because Tesla bought $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, then this could be a momentum shift. It could be. Do I think Altseason is done? I mean, I think it. Not necessarily, right? I mean, I think it'll ebb and flow. I mean, there's a lot of altcoins that are going crazy today, so I don't necessarily think that Altseason is done. No. Someone says, what if the whole BLX chart is just an accumulation zone? So I guess I don't know. I mean, are you implying that this is going to happen? Like, it's just going to go up like this, and this was the accumulation? I don't know about that. We'll see. I don't know about that. Is Litecoin dead? Sorry, I just heard my 1-year-old wake up from his nap. So I know that Link has chilled out for a while, but I think you need to remember that it's not going to move most likely when Bitcoin's moving. Wait for Bitcoin to not move. That's typically when Link moves. That's the purpose of having Link, is because it tends to move when Bitcoin doesn't. It's been quite a while since we left the 20 week. Quite a while. 126 days at this point. So we're going on about a third of a year or so since we left the 20 week. What's the dollar doing? So the dollar, it came down a little bit today. So the dollar is not giving us a definitive direction yet, right? Did I just delete? Yeah. So if you notice, so the crypto bear market of 2018 was more or less solidified by this happening, right? Going above this level. I would say if we keep getting pushed down, if the dollar keeps getting pushed down, then it's going to be good for Bitcoin. If the dollar breaks above, then it's going to be bad for Bitcoin. So I remember in 2018 we chopped sideways for months before giving a definitive direction. So it still could take several more weeks or several more months before the dollar gives us a concrete answer as to which way it's going to head. Over the last couple months, it has been trending up. But over the last 11 months, it's trending down. So it all depends on your perspective. Yeah, we can look at Ether Bitcoin. So far, no breakout out of the channel. I mean, so far we've put in another top here. I don't know if we're gonna rally in the short term or not, but this is the same. I mean, this is the channel we've been in for a while now, except for dropping below it right over here. We've more or less been in this channel for a while. I'm still hoping. I mean, I would like to see Ethereum break out and go above this channel, because I do think it has legs to potentially make it to like 3K. As long, I mean, especially now, if Bitcoin Bitcoin's gone to even higher levels before. I mean, even if Bitcoin had stayed below 42K, I think Ethereum could have theoretically reached $3,000. Now that Bitcoin is above 42K, now it depends on if Bitcoin can remain somewhat stagnant again at some point, and if it can, then I think there's even a higher probability that Ethereum will go up and trend much higher than it currently is. Make sure you guys subscribe. Let's go for 110,000 subscribers, so give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also remember we do have a Telegram channel. We have almost 15,000 people, so if 49 people join the Telegram channel, which I'll post here in the comments, we'll get to 15,000 people in that group if you guys are looking for a community. Yeah, some people were asking me the other day about the CME stuff for Ethereum and is it indicative of a market top? And I said, with only one data point, what are you going to say, right? There's nothing you can say with only one data point. I don't think it necessarily means anything. In fact, now that Bitcoin is trending higher, I have even higher hopes for Ethereum. If you look at our regression bands here, if we go to the top of the next one, we'd be at around 2,800. Okay, so to get to the top of the next regression band for Ethereum, we would be looking at another 60% move up. Okay, and then to go up to the next one, past that one. So if we went up to the top of the next regression band, which I have a hard time seeing us get any further than this one, it would be another 200% move. So that would basically get us to 5K. So if Ethereum were to go to the top of this band, it would be a 5K Ethereum, okay? And I have a hard time seeing us go past this band. Note that these are increasing, so eventually they'll correspond to even higher prices. So like by the end of this year, this regression band could correspond to $8,000. But it certainly seems like this one is doable as long as Bitcoin holds steady and just continues to do its thing. This would get us around close to a $3,000 Ethereum. So that seems certainly doable. Not financial advice, of course. I could be completely wrong, but this seems somewhat doable. The next move would obviously be a lot riskier. So to go from say 28 up to 5K, that one's going to be a lot riskier. Let's actually go back to Bitcoin and pull up, say, the log of the price divided by the 20-week and see where we are. Now, when you pull it up on the BLX, you get a lot more history, right? And so because Bitcoin has cooled down for a while, we're not as extended from the 20-week as we were, say, just a month ago. You can see we're all the way back down here. So let's figure out what we would be at if we went back up, though. So what we're going to do is, so we know to get back up to this line, and again, there's some wiggle room in the line, but let's just say it went up to, say, 0.74. And we got to figure out what is the 20-week moving average in this scenario. So the 20-week moving average right now, this one's old, doesn't have the most recent. It is, let's see, 23,627. So the log of price divided by 23,627 equal to 0.74. So this would basically be if we go back up to the top of that long line. So it would correspond to approximately a $50,000 Bitcoin. Note again that it depends on the 20-week. So if we go up to this level, say next week, the 20-week moving average next week could be $25,000. And in that situation, if it's $25,000, it could be over a $50,000 Bitcoin to get us back up to, say, the top of this thing. Okay, just like we were here, and here, and here, and here, and here. So that would correspond to basically a $50,000 Bitcoin. Make sure you guys subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, the Telegram channel, I'll post it again. And remember, we are having the Altcoin season sale, which I don't know about Altcoin season if Bitcoin's going up, but we are having the sale still. If you guys are looking for exclusive content, I'll post the link to that in the comments. But anyways, these are exciting times. I kind of did a double take this morning when I looked at my phone and looked at the price, and I was like, wait, 44,000? and Tesla buys $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin a weekend after Elon was glued to his phone tweeting about Dogecoin. Which, by the way, I mean, Dogecoin is in the top 10, again, which is pretty crazy. I finally did a public video on Avalanche. This is one we've been talking about on the premium list for about 3 weeks now. It's already up about 134% over the last week, so I would be cautious with it. But I do want to alert people that this is one I'm following. Okay, I want to see this one continue to climb. Continue to climb. Link is in number 9. It's really number 8 because we don't count stablecoins. So number 8 is Link. But the cool thing is, you guys know my top 5: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, ADA, and DOT. ADA and DOT are coming in at 3 and 4. Okay, we don't count USDT, so we got 3 and 4. The only thing that holding us back from seeing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, ADA, and DOT in the top 5 is Link needs to pick up the slack and get its butt up here, right? It needs to flip Litecoin, it needs to flip BNB and XRP. And in order for it to do that, it needs to go at these current prices, at XRP's current price, which of course XRP's price could change, but at XRP's current price, Link needs to get to a $50 Link. So if Link goes to $50 and the price of XRP stays constant, then Link will be in the top 5. Someone says I can favorite all the ones that are not stable coins and it will reorder. Okay, I guess I'll have to do something about it later. If I can get rid of them, I will. How do I feel about Litecoin? I think that it tends to bleed against Bitcoin over the macro scale, so I wouldn't put too much. I personally would not be putting a ton of money into Litecoin because the opportunity cost just is not worth it. Crypto Street says lifetime member here. Can you look at Stratus? I don't even know what that is. Strax, I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at a chart. I have no idea what. So it's up 2x here recently. I don't really have an opinion on it. That's not exactly the most appealing chart, but yeah. ADA is doing very well. ADA is closing in on it was at 70 cents earlier. So this one's up what, like 34x since we started covering it. Hopefully we can see a $1 ADA in the not so distant future. Someone says Link is underperforming against all other coins like ADA, DOT, and Aave. Yeah, it is right now. It's underperforming right now. But if you look at Link, it tends to move when the rest of the market doesn't. So here's Link. So January 13th, 14th, and 15th. It was doing very well. So what happened the 13th and 14th and 15th? Let's go look at Bitcoin on the 13th, 14th, and 15th of January. So Bitcoin went up on the 13th and 14th and then went down on the 15th. So Bitcoin, it went up here, but then the next 2 days it was more or less staying constant. I would want to see Link typically moves when Bitcoin stops. Is dot Bitcoin following Ether Bitcoin 5 years ago? I mean, it sort of is on track to do it. Let's take another look at it because it has been a while since we looked at that. So, I mean, we still have a similar pattern as the Ether Bitcoin, but it still needs to break out, right? It still needs to break out through here, and it hasn't done that yet. So, I would say that this pattern is complete in terms of, you know, bleeding in Q4 and then coming back up in Q1. But the next move that Ether did against Bitcoin, if we go back, let's see when it happened. So you can see a pretty similar move here, right? So Ether broke through on the week of February 1st. So DOT has not done that yet. So we're still waiting. I would say we're still waiting. It could happen in a few days, potentially. It will depend on ultimately what Bitcoin does. But yes, I mean, hopefully we can see DOT break out against Bitcoin and trend much higher. Make sure you guys subscribe. Thanks for joining the premium list, Scott. Let's give the video a thumbs up and see if we have I have about 25 minutes or so. We'll see if we can break through 45K in that amount of time. You know, if you look at this chart on a longer, like just like on a daily time frame, and kind of ignore that and just say, okay, well, except for this little thing right here, we've mostly been following this line here. The lower, or the value at this line right now is around 37K or so. Alright, we got spammers, so we'll have to get rid of these guys. Alright. So let's actually go to a minute time frame so we can see what's going on here in the short term. So let's draw our 45K mark. So that's our 45K mark. So that's what we would want to break through in order to conquer 45K. So we've seen this happen a lot of times, right? Where we come up to it, we get rejected, then we come up to it a while later, we maybe get rejected again, and then sometimes it's like the third or the fourth attempt we power through it. So we'll see. Everyone wants to draw the house and garage. Sure. I can't draw too far out because I have to leave in like 25 minutes. So we're currently here at 22:35. So I'll draw the house here because I have to leave at the end of this house. I have to leave and I have to go pick my son up. So we'll draw the house right here. I guess we should draw the garage on this side because I can't stay out here. Yes, my son is more important. Man, these bull markets can be exhausting. Does anyone else feel like these bull markets can be exhausting sometimes? You think that, oh, it's gonna calm down for a little bit, and then nope, right back to the races. Someone says looks like the dominance broke. Did it break? It certainly is testing it. That's for sure. Yeah, we're certainly kind of at a crossroads here, right? Is Bitcoin going to break 45K and then just blast off in terms of the dominance? Or is it going to be rejected at 45K and come back down in price, and then alts will continue to rally? That's the question. What do you guys think? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the short term. What do you guys think is going to happen? Someone says he's done. He just wants to book his Forbes interview. Yeah, I mean, if you're pulling out of the market, you could go ahead and book it. But you can't really book those Forbes interviews until you've taken the profits, then they're secured. All right, let's watch Bitcoin because it's closing. It's at 44,780, so we'll see if I got about 20 more minutes. Remember too, by the way, one potential future is that we don't break 45K immediately, and if we don't, and we go back and settle at a slightly lower price, that's still good for alts. That's most likely still good for alts. The problem is that when in terms of alt Bitcoin valuations, they'll tend to bleed as long as Bitcoin is doing this, or as long as Bitcoin is super volatile. A lot of altcoin Bitcoin valuations will bleed. Yeah, and some altcoins will bleed against USD when Bitcoin rallies, but they tend to hold up okay. Like they can sometimes go down slightly, but as long as Bitcoin isn't like capitulating, then they can tend to do okay. That's generally what's like. Like they might lose a little bit of USD value, some might gain a little bit of USD value, but most of them aren't going to do anything spectacular as long as Bitcoin's running. Why do alts bleed against USD? Well, one reason, as I'm sure many people have probably noticed, if Bitcoin's trending up, like let's say it's trending up and it's above its prior all-time high, it's going up and it's going up, and then it does one of these little corrections, then a lot of times altcoins will correct harder, and then Bitcoin recovers and continues higher, but the altcoins don't necessarily recover back to the USD value that they were before. And so each of these little dips that Bitcoin has can cause those alts to keep bleeding against USD, or at least not performing that well, and they also, of course, bleed against Bitcoin. So that's kind of what happens in these bull market scenarios when Bitcoin's trending up. Every time it dips back down some, a lot of altcoins dip harder, and then they don't necessarily recover in USD because then people are just FOMOing back into Bitcoin. That's my interpretation anyways. Hopefully a lot of people here are making a lot of money in the crypto markets. What is Ethereum doing? It's going to sit most likely until Bitcoin volatility calms down. We've seen this time and time again, right? You have to wait. It's most likely not going to run against Bitcoin, and as long as Bitcoin stays this volatile as in a price discovery mode. I'd say you have to wait. And that's assuming that Bitcoin doesn't capitulate, right? You're assuming that Bitcoin stays strong and holds, and then Ethereum will likely run again. It's the same thing we've been doing for a long time, right? It's the same thing. EJS second. I'm glad you've enjoyed the content. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying the content. We have 109,000 subscribers. Let's go for 110,000. Actually, you know what we should look at? Let me pull up another chart. So let me go to Bitcoin USD. Well, let me do it on a different one. I don't want to get rid of the dominance. Let's go to the dot chart and do it because it's not moving. Let's go to our regression rainbow and see where we are. Again, if I had, if this one could break, this one might have already broken. I don't know if it did or not, but generally the idea is so far every cycle we trend down 2.5 log lines, and you can see it when you look at the entire chart here. So these are the regression lines for Bitcoin. But what we can also do is we can put on our it's the wrong one, the regression rainbow, and we'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that. And the idea we talked about again is it drops 2.5 log lines down from so far each cycle, but this is one that certainly could break, right? This one could break. So 2.5 log lines from this last one would be the middle of the green band. So we came up to it at 42K. So we came up to the almost like around the midway point here. Maybe not quite the midway point. The bottom at the time was, say, 32K. The top was 55K. So what's that? 32 plus 50, so 87. So the midpoint of that would be around 43 and a half, 43 and some change would be the midpoint. Now the midpoint would be 33, so 33 plus 57. So we're looking at 90K. So the midpoint right now would be around 45K. That would be around where the midpoint would be. Again, we could break through it. I don't want to give the impression we can't break through it. There's a decent chance we break through this. We'll see what happens. Someone said they traded 2 Bitcoin for Ethereum last night. Generally one of the best times to do that is in December, right? We've talked about December being the time, historically speaking, to shift your Bitcoin to Ethereum, not February, right? February, you want to start thinking in the other way around, not continuing to FOMO into Ethereum. So December was the time, as we discussed, for 4 months on this channel. I had to draw the house here because I got to get going. When we get to the end of this house, if we haven't made it, I have to leave because I have to go get my son at school. Remember the end of December. Hopefully some people took advantage of that analysis, and you know, maybe some people got some extra Ethereum to ride that train in January. All right, we're at 44,881. Yeah, it'll probably go above 45K right when I end the stream. Whew. The piranhas are nibbling. $44,987, $44,989, $990, $994. We're almost there. $981. There it is, 45. We're at 45. So Bitcoin is now at 45K. It's a pretty big milestone. I don't have the order book pulled up. How big is the wall at 45K? Does anyone have it pulled up? Does anyone have the order book pulled up? Like how big is the wall at 45K? $330 Bitcoin. All right, the wall's getting eaten right now. We're at 45. Oh, someone rejected by the house. Rejected by the house. I mean, the crazy thing is, you know, once you get above 45K, right? I mean, obviously the next sub milestones are like 46K, 47. Obviously, you have to start thinking about 50K, right? Half of 100K. All right, we're back at 44,992. Will Bitcoin make it home? It has to go above 45K to make it home. Remember, it can take a few attempts if we're breaking it. I mean, it can still take a few attempts. I got 8 minutes. I gotta leave in 8 minutes. Yeah, it's possible. It is. So someone said it's possible that it was a concrete foundation and kind of got rejected here. We already hit 45K. We just haven't moved past it yet, but we hit 45K. We've seen these types of moves before. Like even in the event that we say come back down, it doesn't necessarily preclude us from just coming back up later and testing it, right? We've seen this many times, so let's just keep that in mind. If it does get rejected and we go back down and chill out for a few days, this would probably be good for altcoins. So it depends on kind of what you want to see. You want to see altcoins rally, or you want to see Bitcoin rally? Or do you hold everything and you're just fine letting everything rally whenever they want to rally? I'm of the latter, right? I have Bitcoin. I also have altcoins. I'm happy to see either of them rally. We'll see how long they can go for. Yes, I enjoy being a father. No, we have not covered Link Bitcoin on the stream. It's not doing so well. It's at 55,000 Satoshis. Link needs to pick up the slack. I don't think it's going to do that until Bitcoin stops. So whenever Bitcoin stops, maybe then Link can do something. Someone said, someone says probably a great time to be a father. Every time your kid wakes up, you can check the Asian markets. Yeah, I was up at like 2 a.m. last night feeding my 3-month-old a bottle, and I was actually looking at the price of Bitcoin. Um, I think at the time it was at like 39.2. And then I woke up like 3 hours later or 5 hours later, and it was at 44. So it had gone up like $5,000 while I was sleeping for like 6 hours. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 110,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. And remember, again, we have the Telegram channel. If you guys want a chat room to join, we need 29 more people to reach 15,000 members. So I'll post that in the chat again. I don't really follow Zcash. I don't. There's a lot of coins I just don't have time to follow, and I think there's a lot of projects that I'm already following that are already putting in really good gains. You can't catch them all, right? If you see coins going up that you don't own, you can't catch them all. Again, this isn't Pokemon or anything. You know, you get the ones that you can you think are good projects, and then wait for the pumps to come to you. I don't generally chase pumps. I just don't. Will I consider leaving the live stream running? Why? What would the point of that be? Someone says clarifying, this is not Pokemon. That is correct. I don't try to catch all of them. If you want to chat to each other, just join the Telegram channel, my friend. Check out the description below. We got 15,000 people in there. An order of magnitude people chatting there are more there than here. Well, I have to leave in 2 minutes. It looks like the concrete foundation of the house rejected the price of Bitcoin. So it is what it is. Maybe we'll break it. We did at least accomplish a $45,000 Bitcoin. So right, that's in the books, and no one can take that away from us. We saw it happen. A $45,000 Bitcoin. It's a pretty significant milestone for us. So we'll see where we'll see where we go in the coming days, of course. But most of these coins are probably not going to do anything spectacular until Bitcoin calms down, as we've been saying all along. The rules do not change. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll stream tonight. I'm not really sure. All right, I should get going because we're not about to break 45K in the next minute. So make sure you guys subscribe. Let's go for 110,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. We have the Telegram channel. I'll post the Telegram channel again if you guys want it. And then we also have the premium list, Altcoin season sale going on. Make sure you guys check that out. I do talk sometimes about coins that I don't talk about here. I did publish my first public video today on Avalanche, but we were talking about it a few weeks ago as well, when it was, like 40% of its current price. So there are some perks. But I guess we'll wrap it up. Why don't we wrap it up there? And subscribe. I'll see you guys maybe tonight. If the markets are moving tonight, which who are we kidding? They probably will be. But if the markets are moving tonight, we will probably do another live stream. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.